Oliver, Mr. Oliver's resource page. Mr. Oliver, Mr. Oliver, Mr. Oliver's resource page. Mr. Oliver, Mr. Oliver, Mr. Oliver's resource page. Oh, whoa, whoa. All right, Unit 5, Lesson 7 homework. Let's get right to it. Today was all about, we're like rounding decimals. Yeah, it's all about rounding decimals. So depending on what you're rounding to is going to depend on how you go about rounding those decimals. But you all know how I do. I like to give you guys some definitive steps about how we would like to go about rounding decimals in our classroom. So step 1, I would talk about identifying the place value that you need to actually round to. Sometimes you're going to be rounding the whole number, sometimes you're going to be rounding to the nearest half, sometimes you're going to be rounding to the nearest tenth or the nearest hundredth. So in this case, let's talk about rounding to the nearest whole number, just for the example that we're going to give here, which is 2 and 374 thousandths. So first thing you want to do is identify the placement value. We're rounding to the nearest whole number. So take a look at that 2, okay? Because the nearest whole numbers, it would be between 2 and 3. So, but let's take a look at that 2, because we're dealing with 2 and 374 thousandths. Now you've identified that place value. It's the ones place that we're going to be rounding to. So now take a look at that next digit. The next digit to the right, that you would identify is in the tenths place. So when you look at that next digit, you want to see exactly what that digit is. In this case, it's a 3. So our next step, we need to decide whether to round up or down. And I'm kind of sure you guys have probably heard a lot of rhyming things to kind of let you know what you need to do. In this case, if that digit is 5 or more, let it soar. 5 or more, raise the score. If it's 4 or less, let it rest. Okay, so we've identified our digit as a 3. So that puts it in that rest category. So now that we've decided it's 4 or less, let it rest, we just need to round it to 2. So our last step would be to remove those remaining digits afterwards. Because now, after we've rounded, we don't care nothing about those other digits. We don't care nothing about it. So now we've rounded it to 2. Now let's go ahead and take that same number and we could check our answer on our number line. So let's do our number line. Y'all already know, identify our beginning and ending numbers, which in this case would be our consecutive whole numbers, which are 2 and 3. Let's divide our number line into 10 sections. Let's identify our number, which is 2 and 374 thousandths. And when you put that on our number line, it's going to be closer to 2 than it is to 3, because our midpoint would be 2 and 5 tenths. And when you put our number on the number line, it's closer to 2 than it is to 3. So we could use our number line to actually check our answer. All right, now let's round 2 and 374 thousandths to the nearest tenth. All right, this is going to be a little different. The first time we rounded to the nearest whole number. So now let's round to the nearest tenth, but we're going to use the same steps. So we're going to identify the placement value. Now instead of whole numbers, this time round to the nearest tenth. So we're considered with the tenths place. So we're going to take a close look at this 3 in the tenths place. Now we started out with that 3 and we look to that next digit to the right. All right, so now we're concerned with that next digit, which is a 7, and that's going to determine where we round that 3. Are we going to round that 3 to a 3 or a 4? So now we're concerned with that 7, and we're going to round up or down based on where it is. And that 7 is over a 5, and when it's 5 or more, we let it soar. So that 7 is going to make our 3 round up to a 4. And after that, we're going to remove our remaining digits. All right, and let's go ahead and check that again with our number line. Let's check it with our number line. So this time it's a little different with our number line because we're not rounding to the whole number. So our beginning and ending numbers are going to be based off our tenths. So our beginning number would be 2 and 3/10, and our ending number would be 2 and 4/10. And we can go ahead and mark our number 2 and 374 thousandths. We could locate that between 2 and 3/10 and 2 and 4/10. And when we mark it, we'll notice that it's closer to 2 and 4/10, which reinforces what we did earlier with our estimation. All right, now let's round that same number, 2 and 374 thousandths, to the nearest hundredth. Same process, y'all, just a little different. Identify the placement value. In this place is going to be the hundredths. So our first look is at our 7, which is in the hundredths place. So then we go from that 7, because that's the one we're either going to round, we're either going to keep it at 7, or we're going to round it up to 8. So we need to look to that next digit, which is a 4. We look to that digit, it's a 4. Ooh, I'm sorry. And a 4 or less, let it rest. So we're going to let that 7 rest. So we're going to round it to 2 and 37 hundredths and remove the remaining digits. Let's check that with our number line. And like we said, we're rounding to the nearest hundred. So our beginning number is going to be 2 and 37 hundredths. And then our ending number is going to be 2 and 38 hundredths. And when we place our number, 2 and 374 thousandths, in between those, it's closer to 2 and 37 hundredths. So we know we're right.
Tens, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tens, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tens, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tens, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tens, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tens, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tens, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tens, hundreds, thousands. 1/10 equals 10 hundredths equals 100 thousandths. Yeah, we getting. 1/10 equals 10 hundredths equals 100 thousandths. Yeah, we getting money. 1/10 equals 10 hundredths equals 100 thousandths. Yeah, we getting money. 1/10 equals 10 hundredths equals 100 thousandths. Yeah, we getting. 1/10 equals 10 hundredths equals 100 thousandths. Yeah, we getting money. Yeah. Tens, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tens, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tens, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tens, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tens, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tens, hundreds, thousands, placement value, tens, hundreds, thousands, to the right, tens, hundreds, thousands, placement value. 1/10 equals 10 hundredths equals 100,000. Yeah, we getting. 1/10 equals 10 hundredths equals 100 thousandths. Yeah, we getting money.